Hello everyone, we're going to be doing homework number 7, it's number 19. A sample size of 11 has a sample mean of 15.6 and a sample standard deviation, S, is equal to 2.4. Construct a 95% confidence interval for the population mean, U. So as this flat out, we're trying to find U. Now before we get into that, I want to show you this. So since we're going into T alpha over 2 and their various formulas, I wanted to sort of let you know the difference between the two. So T alpha over 2 uses sample standard deviation as it's represented by S, while Z alpha over 2 uses standard deviation represented by this little sigma. So I just want to get that out of the way. Alright, so let's find U. Now to find U, we're going to be using a different formula. So let me show you that. We're going to be using the sample mean plus minus T alpha over 2 times the sample standard deviation divided by the square root of sample size equals U. So let's write down what we know. What we know is that the sample size is 11, the sample mean is 15.6, the sample standard deviation is 2.4, but we don't know what the T alpha over 2 is. So let's figure that out. So to find T alpha over 2, we're going to find X and Y, or the degrees of freedom and the confidence level. As shown here, the degrees of freedom is in the x-axis and the confidence level is in the y-axis. So let's find X first. So let's find X, or degrees of freedom. Now, I go in more in depth about this in number 16, I believe. So if you want to learn more, go there. But in short ways, degrees of freedom is equal to the sample size minus 1. The sample size is 11. So we're going to plug in 11 for n. 11 minus 1 is degrees of freedom. So 11 minus 1 is 10. 10 is our degrees of freedom, and we're going to put that in our little x-axis. Now let's find y. Alright, let's find y. Now y is confidence level. Now shown here, the confidence level is the percentage. And the percentage that they give us is 95%. So the percentage is 95%. Therefore, 95% is our confidence level. So confidence level is our y-axis. Now we're going to find T alpha over 2. Now to do that, we need to get our degrees of freedom confidence level, which we just did. Our degrees of freedom is 10, and our confidence level is 95%. So we're going to write it down like this. Like this. So we're going to be using our t-table over here. Let me expand that a little bit. And we're going to go over here to our x-axis, our degrees of freedom, and it's going to be 10. We're also going to go over here to our y-axis. We're going to use our 95% that was given to us. So now we're going to pinpoint where these two meet. That's going to be 2.28, as shown here. So degrees of freedom, 10, and confidence level, 95%, when they both meet, equal to 2.28. Therefore, T alpha over 2 is equal to 2.228. So let's go over what we know. We know that T alpha over 2 is equal to 2.228. We know that the sample size, n, is equal to 11. We know that the sample mean is equal to 15.6. And we know that the sample standard deviation is equal to 2.4. And we're going to use all these numbers over here in this formula, sample mean plus minus T alpha over 2 times the sample standard deviation divided by the square root of the sample size, which equals U. So I'm going to go put all these together, and it's going to look something like this. So all of it put together, 15.6 plus minus 2.228 times 2.4 divided by the square root of 11. So when I do this all in one fell swoop, we're going to get 1.612241462. So when I subtract it and add it, so over here in the subtraction side, it's going to be 13.987 with some more numbers behind it represented by the dots. Over here, kind of messy. When I add it, it's going to be 17.212. Now, shown in the homework, we have 2 whole numbers and 1 decimal point. So we're going to do that to our answer, and we're going to round it. So if we do 13.9 and round that, and 17.2 and round that, we're going to get 14.0 and 17.2, which gives us the answer A, as seen here.